Hey there, Internet friends. Welcome back to an all-new episode of Daphne's Detention. Welcome back, Internet friends. Today I will be going over the case of Spencer and Monique Tepe, the two young couple that lost their lives. We'll be going over their death here. They passed away on December 30th, the night before New Year's Eve, while they were sleeping in their home with their two young children, ages 1 and 4. This is their memorial here for Spencer, age 37, and Monique, age 39, of Columbus, Ohio. We will be going over their case. We will be also going over some of the Google Trends, talking about what interested me was there was a search on November 11th for Spencer's name and the address. We will also be going over the most updated information concerning this case. So stay tuned and let's start digging. So on December 30th, 2025, in the quiet Weinland Park neighborhood in Columbus, Ohio, became the site of a tragedy that has left investigators and the community searching for answers. Dr. Spencer Tepe, a respected local dentist, and his wife Monique were found shot to death in their home while their two young children were safe inside. As of January 2026, police have ruled out a murder/unaliving by themselves and are analyzing a critical 3-hour window. I want to give you the timeline and the events surrounding their deaths. So on December 30th, 2025, discovery, around 2 a.m. to 5 a.m., investigators believe the murders occurred during this window on the second floor of the Tempe's home. At 8:58 a.m., the Spencer's employer, Dr. Mark Valrose, he calls 911 after Spencer fails to show up for work, noting it's very out of character for Dr. Spencer not to show up. 9:22 a.m., a Columbus police officer arrives for a wellness check. Believes he leaves because there's no answer at the door, right? Police later clarified the officer initially went to the wrong address. 9:57 a.m., a friend at the scene calls 911, reporting they can hear children crying inside. At 10:05 a.m., a friend reports seeing Spencer's body next to a bed through the window. 10:11 a.m., medical personnel pronounce both Spencer and Monique dead at the scene. Current. So on January 2nd, 2026, the Tempe family releases the first public statement expressing they are very heartbroken beyond words. January 5th, police release surveillance footage of a person of interest wearing light-colored pants, a dark hoodie, walking in a nearby alley during the 2 a.m. to 5 a.m. time frame. January 8th, Columbus Police Chief Elaine Bryant clarifies a tearful 911 call from April 2025, April 15th to be exact. This was about 5 days prior to Easter. This call, which had sparked online speculation, did not come from Monique, though. Monique Tepe, Spencer's wife. Now, on January 9th, family and friends gather for funeral arrangements as the investigation into the double homicide remains active and no suspects have been named. I want to take you over to this current article that just came out in Columbus, and we're going to go over this. Now, police say Tempe murder case is complex as tips pour in. Surveillance video is key. We're going to play this article here. And they go through all 9 of these photos. We're going to go ahead and read on through this here. It goes on to say that police say the murder case is complex. So they're receiving tons of tips, right? And in this case here, they're being very careful. Not too much information has come out. It says new details continue to emerge in the murder investigation. The Columbus dentist and his wife were found shot to death on the second floor of their Weinland Park home. More than a week ago, police told ABC6 that they now have received numerous tips connected to a person of interest seen near the home, but no arrests have been made. It seems like they're really focusing on this one video, this one surveillance video. Now, we've looked through the area on our previous lives, and we've seen several surveillance footage cameras in the area, right? So this one video, they are really focusing on. And in my opinion, this video is the person of interest that they really are looking into. So it goes on to say that ABC6 managing editor Rodney Dugan sat down with Columbus Police Chief Elaine Bryant for the first time since the murders. The case has drawn attention far beyond Central Ohio, placing the investigation under a national spotlight. Chief Bryant acknowledged that the visibility can bring added pressure, but he said it has not changed how detectives are handling the case. We know that there are a lot of concerns and a lot of questions surrounding this case, and we want to be able to be as transparent and answer as many questions as we can. Unfortunately, there are some things we can't talk about for the integrity of the investigation, Bryant said. Bryant described the investigation as a complex case with several moving parts. She said that complexity stems from both the evidence gathering process and the need to verify information before drawing conclusions, especially amid intense public scrutiny. It puts a lot of stress on us, but I want to reiterate while this case is getting a lot of national attention, we look at all our homicides in that matter. They bring us stress because someone lost their lives, said Bryant. Police have narrowed down the likely time frame of the murders to early Tuesday morning, December 30th. That determined led investigators to release the surveillance video showing a person of interest walking through an alley near the Tepe home during those early morning hours. If you are wanting to watch that surveillance video, I do have it uploaded in my YouTube shorts. I have done an extensive coloring change, a direction change of the suspect walking. I have also done some software recognition on a emblem or maybe his zipper that had some type of logo on his jacket, and it pulled up a bird logo. So if you would like to check that out, go to my YouTube shorts and you will find it there. It goes on to say that Assistant Chief Greg Bodiger said released information and it requires a careful balance. A homicide investigation, whether it's this one or another one, it's really delicate balancing act between community safety and investigative integrity. And I just want to mention that right there. As of right now, January 9th, 2026 at 1:06 p.m. here in upstate New York, there is currently a suspect that murdered 2 individuals walking around somewhere that has not been caught. They are doing their best to try to find this person to arrest them. Just think about that for a minute. This person is still walking around free right now. Boddicker added that detectives only released the video after ensuring it would not compromise the investigation. The case has generated widespread discussion online, something police say they are monitoring but not relying on. There are a lot of internet investigators. Much of what you see on the internet, first of all, yes, we are monitoring that. And much of what you read is just not factual. We are not gonna jump in on those chats and add our comments to those, said Boddicker. As the investigation continues, detectives are racing to collect and preserve additional surveillance footage, something police indicate could prove critical. And in my opinion, that is what is going to solve this case, is gathering all this surveillance footage around the neighborhood, right? And then people that live around in that area that are giving tips. I know it's frustrating for people. I know they want answers. As soon as we're able to provide more information, we will absolutely be back to talk about that, to give updates, and to be able to give more information. But right now, it's premature for us to be able to say what the motive is, or we don't have a suspect identified at this point. Columbus Police Chief Elaine Bryant also said in the morning of the discovery the officers sent for a well-being check at the Tepe home ended up at the wrong location about 40 minutes later. The Tempes were found dead in their home, with investigators believing the killings had occurred several hours before. That officer unfortunately went to the wrong location initially. As it related to a wellness check, it was not the right house. He spent about 10 minutes doing what he thought was appropriate. Had it been in the right house, knocking on the door, going around to the backyard, doing all the things that you would do in an effort to try to reach out to a family or anyone that may have been in the home. It was not the right location. We later received another call. Hey, we need someone out here. And so we did respond back to that location about 40 minutes later. That is when we learned and we found out they were actually deceased. The two victims were deceased. I questioned that because I said, how did the officer not hear the two children crying when they came out? And I kept questioning it. How? How on earth did the officer doing the wellness check not hear the two children inside crying? Now we know, because he showed up at the wrong house. The article goes on to say police have not said whether the Tepes were targeted. And Bryant told ABC that remains an open investigation as detectives continue reviewing the evidence. The case is definitely disturbing, and it's definitely something that we want to make sure that we have poured a lot of energy into trying to address and solve. We want to bring some justice to the family, said Bryant. Chief Bryant also indicated that this case would ultimately hinge on one small detail, something a neighbor or witness may not even realize is important. So for now, police point out that patience is key as they are working to bring answers for the Tempe family and a community searching for answers. So that is the newest article that has just come out from their local news. Now, what do you guys think about that? Let me know in the comments below what you think about this new article. What do you think about the police showing up at the incorrect house, at the wrong house? I questioned that. I said, how on earth did the police not hear the two young babies inside crying? And someone said, well, maybe because he didn't go around to the back or go, you know what I mean? And I'm like, yeah, but the coworker, you could hear the babies crying from outside when the coworker showed up. So now we know that the officer that was doing the wellness check showed up at the wrong house. So what do you guys think about that? I want you to leave your comment down below about that. Now, I want to go over also to this Google Trends. Make sure you guys please hit that like, share, and subscribe for the channel. All right, so this is Google Trends, right? I want to go real quick. So the search term here is Spencer Tepe, and then we did the search address, right? If you look here on November 11th, 2025, we have Spencer was searched twice, right? On November 11th, 2025. And if we take Spencer out, well, let's go down here real quick. So I want to show you right now. So the interest for Spencer Tepe, right? And you can click on it. You can actually do this yourself. Go to trends.google.com, put in the name of the person that you want, and see who's been searching you up. And it'll show the state that they're in. So you have Ohio, these states here, right? And it'll tell you which states. Check this out. So search interest 100 in Ohio, Florida 7. I'll go to New York because I live here 6, California 5. So it shows the states. Look at Kentucky, there's 13. The surrounding states I'm looking at, West Virginia, there's 15. So if you were the person of interest, if you were the suspect, right? Would you stay in the state where you committed the crime, or would you leave? What is your answer? Leave it below. I'm curious. So if we go up here and let's take out Spencer's name, right? Let's remove him. All right, we're going to wait for it to update. And I made sure that I put it in the past. Well, let's check for the past day. I'm just going to show you. Let's see. Oh, excuse me. Let's do web search. Okay. So from December 29th, it shows nothing, right? But it continues to go up. Ohio. So we have South Carolina. These are the states, right, that have searched. So you have the address. This is their address where they were murdered at. This is the past 30 days. So it starts from December 29th. On December 30th, the day of, there is 18 searches. Now I'm going to go back to the past 90 days. Unfortunately, I can't go back to 60 days. I wish it would allow me to. Now, somebody said that there was searches in here for the address. I don't see anything. But we do have, like, on the date of. So we have 100 search interest here in Ohio. I was looking in Florida because we had some in Florida before. So you can go in here and type whatever name you want. So dentist, Spencer Tempe. There we go. Let's put him in there. So on December 30th, there was 4 searches for him, right? Let's see. We have 4 search interests in Florida and 100 here. Now this is the past, this is comparing, right, over time, 90 days. So right here is probably his friend, maybe. I'm not sure. I mean, I'm sure he knows other people in Florida. But what do you guys think about that? You guys can play around with that yourselves and look at that and just let me know, what you find out below. I would like to hear what you guys actually find out below. So let's remove this. I want to take you over to something else. Give me 1 second. So there are some messages I want to go over with you. This is a friend of the family. And this one friend speaks about, let me open this a little bit larger so you guys can see it. The brother-in-law, right? The brother-in-law. And this is from Reddit, right? I'm going to read this over to you. Like a previous poster, I do not usually do this, right? But I've seen enough of the Rob slander, talking about Rob, which is the brother-in-law. I know him. I know the case very well. Let's go over a few things. I want to read this to you. Rob was asked by the Tempes to be a voice to the media in their time of deep grief. He is the only one with thick skin. Rob and his wife started dating in college over 15 years. Do we not think anything would have come up regarding concerns on the span of time? Do we think Spencer's parents would have given him his role without deep consideration? Hmm, questions, right? Rob mentioned being with kids. This is true and known in our friend group. If the Tempes, Mo's family, which is Monique, they called her Mo for short, the police or anyone at all, any suspicion, they capitalize all that, the any suspicion, do we really think the uncle by marriage would be allowed to be with the children? Rob lives 100 miles away from the crime. He and his wife were asleep in bed when this happened. Do we think he got out of bed, drove to Columbus, did this, came back, and woke up with Maddie like nothing happened? What do you guys think there? Just think about that for a minute. Think about that question. It goes on to say, Rob is a talker. I know this. You probably know this now. It is how he was letting out his immense, and it was immense, grief those first few days. I spoke to all of the family at first, and the grief was and is still indescribable. The comments about the intruder were taken way out of context. He simply acknowledged that it could be the guy, but didn't want hopes up, right? Do you remember how the brother-in-law said, "Oh, it could just be like a drunk walking"? Well, why on earth would they just show? Why would they show the video if it was just some drunk? They have a ton of surveillance, right? Just my thoughts. I personally used to live down uh, Columbus, not far from all this, and this and the cast of characters that come out of night, right, is something to behold. You have to you have your stumbling drunks, homeless druggies, random hipsters drinking PBR till 2 a.m. Now, I noticed that they said PBR. It makes you wonder, like, hmm, I used to bartend and in a certain area, and yes, PBR was very popular in this area where I work. So that kind of stuck out to me, PBR. Did this person bartend or something close by? Just curious. It goes on to say, by downplaying the evidence, he was likely protecting his peace and that of the family again. He didn't say no. He said maybe. Remember, real people really love the people you are accusing the worst thing in the world of. And yes, this is the worst thing in the world. I agree. We see it. His friends see it. His family sees it. We're all in deep and indescribable grief. Please take it easier on everyone involved. What do you guys think about what they just said? I just find it. I do. I feel bad because the brother-in-law has come out and he's trying to keep everything updated, and it seems like he is getting a lot of slack, right? Like people are really coming down on him, and it's sad. It's really sad. Now, I do want to go over a few other things here and show you about what is going on. Um, Give me one second. We will be going over one of these clips here, and I want to show you something. So, let me remove this here. Okay. Actually, I want to read this to you too. This is really interesting. So stay tuned because I want to go over and show you the family members in here. Okay, let's go over this as well. This is for the funeral, and there's something very interesting in here. Okay, I want to just read all this. So I just want to read these messages to him. So the funeral is going, the visitation Sunday, this coming up Sunday, right? And then they're having a celebration of life too. It is so sad, right? It is so sad that they passed away too young, just too young. Parents. Now, you remember that Spencer Tempe, he was a part of the Boys and Girls Club too. And, something in the back of my head makes me wonder, like, did he upset a parent or maybe one of the children there or something like that? What do you think? I want to hear your comments below on what or who could be responsible for this. So, just some of these comments I want to read to you. Spence and Mo were wonderful and positive people who did great things in their short time with us. Their, their laughter, kind hearts, friendly personalities, and inclusivity will always be cherished. May they rest in peace and live on our hearts. So sweet. My deepest sympathies and prayers for you during this terrible time of grief. I didn't know either of them, but I stand a fellow Columbus resident in prayer and support. Your city is standing in the gap. This one I want to read. This is from a colleague. I hired Spencer for Stone Creek Dental Care when he graduated dental school and worked with him for years. He connected with the Delta Sigma dental fraternity. I have warm memories of Spencer and Larry helping me sponsor a few very fun tailgates. Spencer was one of them, one of those people who you were always happy to see or hear from. He was positive, full of joy, and so good to others. He was an incredible dentist who had a huge dental family and countless patients who loved him. He will be greatly missed. Can't wrap my head around all this. It is a shock and heartbreaking. Prayers and answers for the family and their beautiful children. This is a friend. Spencer was my dentist in Ashland. He was the best, caring, and considerate. I have never been a fan of dentists, and he understood that. I was sorry to see him leave Ashland. Rest in peace, Dr. Tempe and Monique. And it just goes on and on. Friends and stuff like that. But this was a colleague. This seems like a friend of Stephanie, or excuse me, Monique. This is Stephanie Wolf, right? Monique was truly a beautiful, fun-loving, kind person who was so funny and playful. I remember our soccer days so well and how she was so good at making you feel included and celebrated. I know many years have passed since our days of soccer and friendship, but what I do remember is a lot of laughter and how she made me feel. I am grateful that our paths crossed in life and sending all my prayers and love to her and her husband's families, children, and friends. While her death is a tragedy beyond words, her spirit and light, including the infectious joy she brought out in others, will not be forgotten. That's just so sad. It's just so sad, guys. Okay, so I want to go over one more thing with you. This is just a short clip of, just a short clip here. I'm going to remove this. Hope you guys are enjoying my podcast. We will be doing more podcasts in the near future, so if you want to subscribe to the channel, I appreciate that. We stay up to date with all different types of cases. Let me pull this up for you. And this will just be short clip here. Give me 1 second.
And Monique Tepe. Let's see. So he, a respected dentist, 37 years old, and his wife, stay at home, 39-year-old wife, stay at home mother. They were found dead in their upscale Columbus, Ohio home. Now, Spencer's employers and friends, they made a welfare check as he wasn't around and he didn't show up for work. That was on December 30th. Right. They were found inside their home, shot dead multiple times. Monique at least once, apparently, and him multiple times. The murders happened sometime between 2 a.m. and 5 a.m. on December 30th. There's no forced entry that police observed, so suggesting that maybe the killer was let in. There were 9mm shell casings were found, but there was no murder weapon recovered. And what really makes this scary to me is that there was a 1 and a 4-year-old children there in the house.
Unharmed, thankfully.
Unharmed, thank God. But they were right there when this happened. Okay, can we get the prepaid therapy program for those two? Because, oh my goodness, feel for them. Yeah. Police are requesting surveillance footage from the public. So if you see this and you know anything about it, please call police. We need to figure this out. Tell me, Jana, your initial thoughts on this. More importantly, who did it?
So initial thoughts before I dove in was, well, this has to be a murder-suicide, right? Children are unharmed, no forced entry, middle of the night. We know that sometimes when couples are having a fight, maybe after they've had a little too much to drink, that's a prime time to have those arguments when the kids are in bed, but no murder weapon. So it can't be a murder-suicide without a murder weapon unless somebody else came in after the murder-suicide and took the murder weapon, which makes absolutely no sense, right? Yeah. Now, here's another.
I want to pause this for 1 second. So there was casings found, shell casings from a 9mm. Spencer had 2 .22s that we were told. Now, there was no weapon left behind, as she's saying, but they do have the casings left behind. So let's continue with this video.
Other interesting wrinkle when you dive into this case. I want to say months earlier, there was a 911.
April 15th,
Thank you.
2025. And we're going to listen to that call in a moment. I'll let you finish your thought. But
that was not Monique calling. This call that they're about to play is not Monique that called.
April 15th, 2025. Yeah. There we go. Text. So maybe that's a link. Ooh, you just discovered something. At 2:45 a.m. Go ahead.
Again, middle of the night. Yeah. There's a 911 call.
Yeah.
And sometimes when people call 911, when couples are having a fight, they'll hang up before they actually say what's going on. And then the cops have to call back, or they trace the call and they figure out where you are. Something similar to that happened when the cops called back this 911 caller, and all they got was this 911 caller, female, saying, "Oh, sorry, I was just having a little argument with my man."
Let's listen to it. We got it. SOT 3. Great. Let's listen to it and we'll talk about it and analyze it, see if it has anything to do with this. Go on.
Hello?
Hi, this is 911. We just got a hang-up call. Is everything okay?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm okay.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm okay. Sorry.
Okay, well, it sounds like you're crying. Do you need police, paramedics, or anything?
No, I'm okay. I promise. I'm just emotional. I'm okay. I don't need nothing.
Well, can I ask what had you call 911 in the first place? Like, were you having an argument with somebody?
Me and my man got into it, but I'm okay, I promise.
Did anything ever get physical?
No.
You guys were just arguing, nobody hit each other?
Yes.
Okay. All right, man. Well, I have the information here. I can go ahead and tell the officers to cancel hitting over to your address there.
Yes.
If anything changes, call us back.
Okay.
All right,
I'm sorry.
Wow. What a weird call, right, Jana? Weird.
What's weirder is that dispatch 911 didn't send a cop to the location.
Was it though? I was debating.
Okay, so going to remove that. So they're going on to say that the officer, well, they were talking about that they didn't send an officer to the location when the lady called back in April, right? And we were told by the brother-in-law that was not Monique whatsoever calling, right? I know some say that it does sound like Monique calling. It's hard to tell who when they've been drinking, right? So nobody showed up to the home that night. And then you have the police officer showing up at the incorrect home the day that a welfare check was made. Now, there's just one more thing I want to show you before we go for the day. And if you could, please hit that like, share, and subscribe for me. That helps my channel grow. I appreciate you. So this right here, these are photos of them moving stuff out of their home, right? You could see what looks like to maybe be a couch or something in there. This is like a washer or dryer. More photos of that. You can see chair, all that. So, and you can see these people are staring at the person taking the photos. So I also want to go through some other pictures here. This would be like what looks like inside the home, right? And they're showing like how this person wrote, I believe there may have been multiple possible entry points if the windows were unlocked. One plausible and relatively simple route stands out if you compare the height of the door leading to the garage with the height of the fence. So the garage is detached. And we showed a video that a woman had done, a local person had done a walk around, and the garage is detached from the home. So you can't just go into the garage and enter the home. So this person says, if you compare the height of the door leading to the garage with the height of the fence is not particularly tall. No, the fence looks to be around like 4 foot tall. It's easily can be jumped, right? But they would easily be able to tell if someone jumped the fence, because when you jump and your feet land on the ground, there's going to be imprints of that, right? And same when you go back over. It goes on to say an individual could have accessed the back alley, hopped the fence, entered the backyard, and gone through one of the 2 windows leading to the 4th bedroom, which was likely unoccupied from there. So I just want to pause it real quick. So we know that Spencer was found out of the bed. He was found out of the bed. So something had to have woken him up, because when you're shot in bed, that's where you lay. You don't get up after, and you know what I mean? So something must have woken him up. Or maybe like the first, because he was shot like 5 times. So maybe, the first one didn't, and he tried to get up and was shot again and again. Because we know Monique was only shot 1 time in the chest. And unfortunately that that unalived her. So I want to show you guys some more of these photos. So this goes on to say they think, that this person might have entered a room that was unoccupied. From there, they could have briefly passed through the basement family room, walked upstairs to the main level, and then continued up the stairs to the 2nd floor. Now, it makes you want to know, but that would show as a 4th entry. And the police are saying that it wasn't a 4th entry. Someone also said it was snowy, so I'm hoping for footprints inside, unless they came in the same door as the people who initially found them. Then I'm hoping nothing has been compromised. Just interesting, right? This looks to be a camera here, right? Let's see, this one here, camera. Must be the house right next door, camera. And then we're showing the back of the Tempe's home. So, back of their home. So, there. All right. And we just watched that one. So what do you guys think about that? Let me know your comments below. And I'm going to leave you off with this last thing that I spotted. Now, if you want to see this video, that I did a comparison and the software picked up, one second, software picked up this logo here. This must have been a logo on his pocket. So what I did, I went on Canva. I also went on some other software programs that I have that I'm able to do videos, editing, and I was able to turn around this guy's frame. So instead of him walking to the left, as we've seen in the video, I was able to get him to move to the right by flipping the scene, and the software at a certain point when he was just getting ready to pass right here next to the recycle bins, the software picked up a logo on this man's jacket and it pulled up a bird. So it says common blackbird, Phoebe, species of beetle. So what do you guys think? Again, if you want to see that short, go into my YouTube shorts. You will see that video of, it'll say surveillance for Spencer Tepe, and you can watch it. You could slow it down, zoom in on it, and I want to know what you think. I appreciate you watching the episode of Daphne's Detention, and we will keep you updated. Thank you and have a wonderful day.